Okay, people, what we gonna do? Detroit is in bankruptcy. Why is that? Well, the CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, also affiliated with the Federal Reserve Bank, decided to change the world and have it into a martial law state, which is a governed state, so that they can change the currency because our currency is backed by nothing. So just be prepared. And what do you think? What do you think these guys are up to? Seriously, I mean, they're already calling us nigger on TV. They want us to put the word down, and they pick it up. So what's up with that? It's slavery. Not only that, they're gonna depopulate the earth. Look at this. It's Black Friday.
These people are victims of Bernays, and most of them cannot be reached. They cannot be helped. They will be among the tens of millions of Americans who will fall victim to unimaginable hardship, suffering, and hunger during the coming collapse. This microdoc is not for them. Most of them do not possess the intellectual curiosity to seek it out. This video is for those with the eyes to see and the ears to hear. It's for those who recognize that the madness of the crowds we see on Black Friday represents the very worst of what we have become as a nation. And it offers a very clear picture of where we are headed when the country we love finally collapses under the weight of tens of trillions of dollars of debt. As Aldous Huxley rightly predicted, these are the people who can be taught to love their servitude.
Through technology and more effective propaganda, the serfs, or us, would learn to love our servitude. We wouldn't even really acknowledge that we're essentially slaves to a small, technocratic, technologically advanced oligarchy. The people that control our financial system are, by and large, the same people that are behind the globalist movement. And I think at the core of that, you're going to find probably somewhere between 6 and a dozen old world key banking families that pretty much control the world's finances.
The scary thing is that by their own admission, they want to depopulate the planet by about 2/3. That's not great if you happen to be one of the people that's in their gun sights.
The actions that have been undertaken by monetary authorities to date, and the actions they seem to be firmly committed to continuing, absolutely and utterly guarantee the total destruction of the currency.
These men are predators on the American taxpayer money. These guys are not the job creators, they're the job destroyers.
The ordinary person doesn't understand what's going on here, and it's the paper in our wallets being driven to zero as fast as these criminals can do it.
We know this thing is going down. The establishment knows this thing is going down. It is the destruction of the capitalist economy and of the free market by crony fascistic thieves. Given the ills that are documentable that have occurred in our monetary system, I think it's a guarantee, probably in the near future now, we are going to experience a complete paradigm shift.
Everything here is unprecedented, other than the one universal that the fiat currencies always collapse. I mean, this is no different except that it's now on a global basis.
The key is, when it does go down, we're not going to let them get away with their plan. For total control, police state, financial terrorists controlling everything, digital currency, cashless society. If we continue on this path, not only is it unsustainable, but it is complete and utter destruction.
And this is the first time in history that not a single currency on earth is backed by anything.
What we're going to see in the coming collapse is most likely a derivative meltdown. And people really don't understand derivatives. They really don't get how widespread and gigantic these derivatives are. They're attached to every single financial product that we know of.
When the derivative system starts to fail, really within minutes to hours, will trigger a domino-like reaction among the entire financial system. We're talking a biblical proportion type collapse.
This is the greatest bank robbery in world history, and the banks are doing the robbing. So when we're looking at the high levels of financial crimes, when you go back to the LIBOR scandal, covers over $700 trillion worth of derivatives and loans, and it's been rigged.
entire world is tied to nothing but fiat currency, and specifically one fiat currency, the world reserve currency.
We have a soft society where everything's provided for us, and they have no clue about what the collapse of Western civilization might look like.
The reality is, when this new hard economic reality happens, whether it's Sandy or more importantly a dollar collapse, what do they want the most? They want food, they want fuel, they want security. They want to be able to sleep at night and know that they're going to be protected, and that's real wealth.
So the best thing to do is prepare for yourself, prepare for your family, help and educate others, but you need to be ready. You cannot depend on anybody else but yourself.
You have to physically beat feet out of dangerous areas. The areas that benefited the most off the dollar collapse will be the absolute worst place to be when the dollar ends.
Make plans in advance so that you can at least get out of Dodge at the 11th hour.
We've got 47 million people on food stamps. Just a few years ago, it was 29 million. And the scary thing is, nearly 50% of the people on food stamps have jobs. This is the situation we're in because people depend on the government. They just assume that the government is always going to be there to help them when they're in need.
When is the government coming?
They're sending their mobile units tonight, right?
With gas? We need gasoline.
There'll be food.
And gasoline to run generators. Bring us generators. Bring us something to get heat. We're gonna die if we get killed with the weather. We're gonna die. We're gonna freeze.
I really hope people start taking this seriously and take action. If you can't move, well then make sure you stock up on food and the means of protecting yourself. And those are the things that people should be starting to get their minds wrapped around now.
President Obama, please listen to us down here. We are gonna die. You don't understand. You gotta get your trucks here on this corner now.
The lesson to be learned from Hurricane Sandy is that you must be prepared. Are you prepared if things go wrong? How much food do you have? How much cash do you have? How much gold and silver do you have? Do you know your neighbors? You gotta think through all these problems and issues because a lot of people aren't ready for it.
You cannot look to others. You are the person. You're going to make the change in your localized community. You're going to be able to help other people, but it's only if you prepare. Because if you're not prepared for what's coming, you could literally starve to death.
Every family that's well stocked up represents one less family that's rushing to the grocery store at the 11th hour and cleaning out the shelves.
What if the entire nation ran into a currency crisis where your currency, your dollar, your hard-earned savings evaporate overnight, and you go to the store and you're not looking at $7 bread, you're looking at $50 bread, or you're looking at a complete rejection of the currency you have in your hand?
Have a plan. What are you going to do if the society that you live in shuts down?
Make the mistakes now. Master the learning curves now. If you have the chance, move